Our primary focus is delivering medical supplies, and this is kind of like our emergency response project. And so we have done this in 2015 and 16. So we're sending medical backpacks, tactical backpacks that are supposed to save up to 10 lives in a remote area on a battlefield. And it's given to doctors, and it's given to paramedics, to medics of brigades or civilians, to people who are driving, to doctors and paramedics who are driving ambulances, picking up civilians as well. So that's one of the things. Then we are corresponding with hospitals in Ukraine. We have lists from them, exactly what they need. And we just go according to that list and providing them those supplies as well directly. So we buy most of them on the money that we raised, on the funds that we raise here in Boston, in the United States. We also have an option that people can buy some things on Amazon if they don't want to donate. That's helpful too. Like we have like supplies coming in. That's been helpful recently a lot, because everywhere, like, supplies are disappearing all over the country. We are trying to actually work with wholesale producers to see if they can give us those supplies in huge, big, large quantities. And then we send them, so we send them to Poland. And then there is a transportation partner that gets the backpacks or all the supplies to the border, to the Ukrainian border. And then we have our partner on the ground there. It's another organization. It's called Project One, and they actually picking up from us, and they are doing the distribution. We have the list usually because we have our former contacts from 2015 left. So we go through that list because it's very important that these supplies, that real doctors and people who are trained have those supplies, because otherwise there is no point. There is also like an underground way of delivering it, like sometimes you can't really deliver it just like putting it on a car, driving like 6 hours, and it's or like 10 hours, and it's in the capital. So we're using trains, we're using Ukrainian army, we're using volunteers who are kind of like getting it from point A to point B to point C, and different, like from different parts of Ukraine. I mean, we recently were even able to ship some of the supplies to eastern part of Ukraine, like where Donbass is. So that's kind of like like while it's hard, it's still possible. Well, I'm Ukrainian. I was born there. I grew up there. I moved to the United States only 14 years ago. So all my family lives there. The connection is very strong, and I've been traveling back home every year, sometimes twice a year, for quite like longer periods of time. Like now I have kids, and I make sure that I bring them to Ukraine every year, again, like twice a year, like that's why, I mean, my connection is very strong. Yeah, one of my family members, she can't leave Ukraine because she's in occupation from day one. So that's dangerous for her life. Like there were two families who tried to leave and they got killed. So no one from the town actually tries to leave. My sister, she decided to stay with her husband. So they sent actually by train my niece. I was able to meet her in Hungary, and we actually, like, she had active visa. So that was easy for me to do. So I brought her to Boston. It was exactly the same intention why we're doing this now. It was just a much smaller scale. But it's just the suffering, like you see your people suffering, you see your people in need, and there is nothing like you just, and then you kind of feel that you're here in the United States. There, like, what can be done? That's kind of the question that you ask yourself, and what is the need in Ukraine? And that's kind of how it started. Like I just couldn't see the suffering, and plus, like I told you, I'm just so connected. I have coaches, I have teachers, I have friends there, my classmates, and I actually had big dreams of going back to Ukraine and live there. Like last summer was just incredible that I had with my family. And I was surprised that my husband, who is not Ukrainian, was like, "Yeah, I would move there. Let's think about this." Like we started actually conversations about moving back. I've been always connected to my home country. So just definitely go on our website, sunflowerofpeace.com. And there are always like, there are lots of ways to donate. Like there is a donate button and the people just click on it and can donate through PayPal, through credit cards, through Facebook, Amazon, whatever. And there is also a form, if there is anyone who can reach out to us with their connections, then you can just write a form of volunteer and just say, like, leave a note there saying that who you are and how would you like to help. Even though, yeah, so it's not necessarily a volunteer form for a warehouse, but it's also for other needs as well. So we found the backpacks that are very similar to what we are packing. So a person can just buy directly a backpack and we resupply it, we repack it a little bit, and we just put more things that are necessary right now, like blood stopping medicine, like those type of things.